Well, it's day 2 and I'm fired up for another grind. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. One thing that I did last night, and whenever you're doing these kind of like fishing trips for multi-days, always bring like a tablet. You guys have seen my iPad setup where I put Navionics on there. Actually, for this lake as well, I put I think it's the Fish Smart app. I think it's a Hummingbird app where you can buy the various maps for the, especially for the TVA. They're really good. So what I did is I tried to do quite a bit of map study last night. I looked at the few places where I caught fish, tried to expand on it, and especially using like shading, I found that some of the points had a little flatter taper where I was actually catching fish. Whether that plays out or not, I don't know, but it gives me a little more confidence to maybe understand the lake. It's gonna be a grind though, but this whole like kind of like truck camping out on the lake, fishing, cold in the morning, it's fun, dude. And if you guys haven't done it, definitely give it a try. But come along with me. We are going to try to catch some more fish out here on Bay Springs. If we can figure out a little pattern, grow what we learned yesterday, and put together a 5-fish limit. So basically the only thing that's really going to be different today, I think it's still supposed to be pretty like mild in that, but if you guys look out there, way out, so I don't know if the GoPro, you can actually see it. There's a bit, we're in a little pocket where we're dropping the boat in, but there's a bunch of chop out there. The wind's supposed to blow like 12 to 15, maybe even like a little more than that, and I think it's like southeast, so that's a completely different direction than it's blown all day long, or all for the yesterday that I was here, because it was pretty flat. There's a little bit of a chop. But it definitely is going to change how you can fish stuff, because you can't like sit on little precise things. It makes it a little more challenging. So we'll see what happens. There's literally an otter coming to see us right now. Bug, do you see the otter?
You can see we're gonna start off on this point right here. Super simple, pretty traditional. I caught like a 2-pounder here yesterday, but I caught him on a swim bait, and it seemed like there might be more. It seemed like kind of like a morning spot, so.
Got him. That's a big one. That is a giant. Oh dear. Nice and gentle, Mike, nice and gentle. Oh dear, the wind blows when they start to bite. I got 8-pound test. This is on just a little Kitech with a finesse ball head, but this is a big. To be honest with you, I almost thought I had a loon bite it for a second. Oh God. Can't tell if it's a largemouth or a spot. Look out, Book. Come here. Oh my God, that's a spot, dude. Look at that spot. Look at that. Look out, Bug. Look at that spot, dude. Look at that spot. Oh my gosh. That is a monster spot. I don't know. So this is the second time that my first cast on a spot has produced a big spot. This thing is gigantic. This thing's like 4.5 pounds, dude. Like a monster. I don't know if we're gonna catch any more fish today, but I picked up a little Kitech because I rolled onto this point and saw some fish up in the water column. So a little quarter ounce, dude, classic. It's my little confidence bait when I'm just kind of in the morning. But I saw bait up. We're in like 25 feet of water or so. I'm like, just slang it out there and reel. And this happened. We got to get her out though, because I think there might be more. Look at this spot, dude. Look at that. Oh, my hand's gonna be freezing. Dude, look at that spot. That might even be a 5-pound spot. I don't have a scale on me, so you're gonna have to deal with Mike calling his weights. But dude, that thing is gigantic. That is probably the biggest spot that I have ever caught. Oh my gosh. All right, we're gonna let her go. What, dude, look at how fat. Dude, that thing, I bet you that's a 5-pound spot. All right, get you back, get another one. Thank you for so much fun. What do you say we make another cast, boys? All of a sudden, the wind blows and maybe our luck is changing. All right. was dutiful. Fish on. That feels like another good one. I think he's in the grass. Got the Kitech again. Just another, I don't know, like a 2-pound spot, but I think I got the cast lined up. I had to fire back a few times. Let's just boat flip this guy. Come here. Oh, come here. Don't rod tip me. All right. Again, on the little Kitech, they're eating it though. This is none of that like kind of like dead kind of bite again. It's a fat little spot. Let me turn it. Bug. You turned off spot lock, bro. How are we supposed to stay on the same place if the spot lock isn't on? If you guys watch the way I'm reeling the bait, so I dropped it down to the bottom, I'll just reel a few times, and then I just leave it kind of with a semi-taut line and just let it kind of pendulum down, and then I'll pick it up again. And it seems like they're biting kind of either at that moment when I stop for like that first like second or two, or just as I'm about to start reeling again, and boom. But I don't know, it's kind of like that trap fishing that we were doing, where you kind of like get the bait to suspend for just a second as you're kind of slow reeling it. Like we're not ripping it, but as you're reeling it, you can do it with a swim bait, and it just triggers them. It's a winter deal. It's a kind of, I don't know, like when they're moving around in the water column, it seems to work the best. But especially on spots, dude, with like a little tiny swim bait or a little tailspin or something like that, it's a killer presentation. It's kind of like jerk bait and a swim bait. Oh, yeah, again. There's a whole pot of them down there. Oh gosh, I saw him eat it. Oh, that's a giant, dude. Look out, Bug. That's another freaking giant. God, it's like when I'm stopping the bait. Golly, when I stop the bait and let it sink back down. Oh my God, look at this spot, dude. Look at that spot. Come here. Oh my gosh, that's like a 3-pounder. Come here, come here, come here. I got you. You just come hang out with me. Come hang out with me. Oh my gosh. Oh, dude, man. Dude, man. This is crazy. You go from like getting like 4 bites, 5 bites for a day, and you catch 3 fish right away in the morning. I kind of got them lined up. Bog turned off the spot lock for a minute, but I think I still have them lined up. I'm gonna get this thing back, but I want to tell you what I'm doing real quick. I got this 610 medium spinning rod. It's kind of like my finesse swim bait deal. You guys have seen me throw it. It's a KS2 Elite with a new Daiwa eliminator. It got the yellow braid or the fluorescent green braid on there. 1/4 ounce ball head. So why am I doing that? Well, what I like doing is, like, it takes a while to fish it because I'm in like 25 feet of water. You got to sink it down, but you reel it up and you kind of just stop and almost let it pendulum down, almost like a hair jig. And I found, especially when you're fishing around structure, whether it's like a brush pile or in this case there's some hard bottom right here and a little bit of a grass bed, whether you're fishing around like just stuff, that bait just kind of wallowing down, they chew it. And it doesn't happen all the time, but right now it's happening. Let's get this thing. Oh, Bog. Bog is freaking. Spotopotamus. All right, get back to your place. Oh, Bog, what do you say? High five? Is this good? High five, yes.
The wind has definitely changed things, and it's changed it for the better. We had that flurry this morning and caught another largemouth, I think like an hour after that. But thus far then, it's been kind of a grind. So we're kind of idling around, we're looking for bait. I'm also trying to reassess. I scanned a lot of stuff yesterday, but with the wind and with the fish getting active, some of the stuff that I looked at might change. And that's kind of like the problem with fishing, is it's never the same day to day. And it's amazing how different today is versus yesterday. So we're just kind of idling, looking, like there's some grass right there. We're kind of looking at these edges. We're coming up on a point. But we're gonna idle a bit, we're gonna fish some points. I think that's pretty much key, finding a little bit of hard bottom kind of mixed into those points and see if we can't catch another big one. There's a little bait right there.
Fish on. Oh dear. Oh dear. God, these spots are just... I've never seen spots so stacked up on grass. Like, that's another 2.5, 3 pounder right there, dude. Like, the swim bait is fire. But, like, just off a grass point, we're on a point. There's a few, like, stumps on the edge of it. Let me let her go. But we're on a point, a few stumps off of it, and we're just kind of fishing a grass line. I mean, it's really non-spotty. Something to note, on the Kitech rig, the little finesse swim bait rig, and my Ned rig, on these kind of finesse tackle, I don't know, setups, I have fluorescent green line and white line. And I've talked about it before, but this instance is kind of shows how it's really important. These fish were biting kind of on the flutter. Yes, Bog, you like the flutter? You want more fish. But basically, I saw my line kind of jump, you know? I could also tell when I was on the bottom pretty easily because my line would go slack when I was letting it kind of pendulum down. But the most important thing is as it pendulum down on those bigger fish, I saw that line jump. And you can really see it easily on that brighter line, whether it's white stuff, just so it contrasts a bunch with the water. But on your finesse spinning tackle setups, I really recommend you use super bright line. Ate it on the drop. I picked up the trap right where I had a bite on the swim bait, and oh, she's in the grass. Jeez, that's a better one. Oh gosh. I had a bite on swim bait. I have no idea how this fish is hooked. Look out, Bulk. And I just kind of dropped the trap into the grass. Oh, please stay on. Please stay on. Is that a largemouth or a spot? Dude, that's a giant spot. Giant spots eating traps. He chowed it, boy. Look out, Bulk. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, that's a meat hammer. Oh, meat hammer, boy. Oh my gosh. Spot o puta kumas. I wonder if I do have a scale, because that guy is that's like a 5-pound spot. Golly. Somebody pick up my jaw. So before I forget what exactly happened, let me show you real quick. I caught like a largemouth here yesterday, just throwing a Ned rig around, like a 2 3/4, 2.5, and it's basically, there's like a weird grass line you can see on my C-map that sticks out. I marked it right there, and that's just the very edge of it showing up right there. If we went about 5 feet that way, it would come up to like 6 foot under the boat, and I just caught like a pretty good spot throwing that swim bait. So I'm like, you know what? I threw a trap for like 4 hours yesterday and didn't catch nothing, but why wouldn't you be able to rip a trap on something like this? So I picked up my little Aruka shad on my light rod, and I fished it just like I did the swim bait. Just this little guy right here is swinging back and forth in the wind, and I fished it just like I did that swim bait, and just kind of slow reeling it, letting it fall, slow reeling it, not even ripping it. Dude, cranked it, like cranked it. Look at this fish. Oh, did you see that one? Look up. That right there might be a 5-pound spot, a 5+. I'm gonna dig around. I don't think I have a scale. I'm gonna dig around and see if I got a scale. All right, I hope you guys can hear me. I found my scale. I hope it has enough batteries. It's way in the bottom of my well. I'm gonna pull this thing out and put it on the old greenie. Whoop, chill, 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 chill. 4 pounds, 9 ounces. 4 pounds, 9 ounces. That is a 4.5 pound spot. I think that is the biggest spot I have ever caught on a scale. Oh God, look at that belly. All right, let's get her released. I always get these guys back though. We can put her on the scale, which I usually am not a fan of, but sometimes put them on the scale, get them back in. I hate dragging around in live well and stuff like that. Dude. I mean, that is a spot-opotamus, dude. Oh my God. All right, come here. I'm gonna let you go. Look at that. I will note that my scale weight is a little light, but hey, that's a giant. All right, go back to where you go. I've never ever caught a spot on a trap. So I'm gonna throw my trap right back in there. So since we're actually getting bites, I wanna show you what we caught fish off of. I stopped my graph, and you can see there on the structure scan, it just passed on the 2D, but you can see there's a bunch of like grass shooting up, and there's a point right there. But basically what we were doing is just kind of throwing that swim bait like just a little ways into the grass. You can actually see those look like 2 fish actually, but I was just kind of slow reeling the swim bait, and then I'd let it flutter down. And yeah, we'd get hung on grass occasionally, and even with that trap, we'd get hung on grass occasionally. But you just kind of slow reel it, let it flutter down, and you find like little holes. You find them on accident, but as you can see, they're there. Like, this is kind of an even depth. It comes up a little, but there's a hole there. It looks like it's tapering down to have another hole there, and then there's all grass on the side. You can see it on the side scan actually really well. See how it comes up and goes down, comes up and goes down? But it seems like those fish are either in those holes or they're on the edge. And it's not exactly easy to fish for, but like, dude, I think they're coming from a ways to get it. Like, if you get it in that hole, they clobber it. Golly. Dude, that's on the glide bait. Oh, stay on there. Stay on there. Oh, look out. Oh. We just caught a giant on the trap, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should just throw that big glide bait like once. That's a river to sea. Oh, Nelly. Oh, Nelly. That is my first sizable spot on a glide bait. It came on this guy right here. It's just a river to sea, S-Waver, super standard. You know, my buddy Caleb C. Bass Quest, go check him out on Bass Quest. He's on Lake Chickamauga. He really recommended that as kind of your economy glide bait, just for kind of slanging around. You can throw it around trees and stuff and don't have to worry nearly as much. But dude, that spot smoked it. Like, smoked it. It was just like, whoo, whoo, boom. This is not amazing, the difference one day can make. We went from 4 or 5 bites I think we had to, I bet you we're pushing 17, 18 pounds right now. Like, it's insane, and we're getting bit. Like, you know, like there'll be a dunk there and a dunk there, and it's crazy too, because we didn't do anything on a trap or anything on baits that went like over the grass yesterday or like kind of suspended. Everything was about the Ned rig being on the bottom. Yet today, I haven't gotten a bite. Actually, I had 1 bite on a Ned rig, but everything's been up or kind of letting that bait, the flutter down seems to be really key, because both with the trap and the swim bait, that was 100% like the bite. Like, the bait fluttered down a little bit, just kind of let it, and I ate it. This is so stupid. I hope we don't get rained out. It seems like there's a front coming through, which might be part of the reason that they're biting so well. But if we can dodge this rain, we can shoot a little bit more video and wrap the day up. This is awesome. Hit like and subscribe. Bog, what do you think? You're cold. Oh, poor Bog. But we're catching fish, bud. Dude, you think they get up here in spring? That is cool. That is going to be a wrap. Mike Iaconelli is right about one thing. And even though he screams it, and it's a little bit annoying, he's 100% right. Never give up. If you'd have talked to me this time yesterday, I would have said, let's pack it up. Let's head home. I got 1 more day of vacation. I'll drive early tomorrow morning today, you know, and head to another lake or something. I would have been so wrong. PB spot, 4 pounds, 9 ounces. Caught my biggest fish I ever caught, spotted bass wise, on a glide bait on the S-Waver. Like that today was epic. I don't know what we ended up having. It would have been in the range probably of like 17 to 18 pounds, but a big bag, dude. Smashed them. And didn't catch them in many places. So let's break it down, because that was kind of the goal of this trip, is to kind of go to a lake, learn about it, break it down, and kind of see what happens. Hashtag real fishing. And really what it came down to is probably caught like 4 fish, I think, yesterday. Not many bites, not much information, but we scanned a lot and we looked at a lot of stuff. And what we ended up doing is kind of turning the day from yesterday and putting it back in today and hitting some of the stuff where we actually got a bite and getting like 4, 5, 6 bites out of an area. We only fished like 4 or 5 spots. We only caught fish on 4 or 5 spots. We ran a lot of extra stuff, but it seemed like points, and it was almost Wisconsin fishing, like grass edges, dude. Like where that grass would taper down, or where it was just kind of a little bit lower underwater on the tip of a point, and you'd run that swim bait over the top. It was just kind of an interesting experience, especially spotted bass. I expected to catch more largemouth doing what we were doing, but the big spots were there, so I'm not going to argue with that. We caught some largemouth. But yesterday, so this was the highlight of yesterday. Ned rig. Just a classic Ned rig, little ace, 5-inch ace on there. Today I dipped the tail in chartreuse because it's cloudy out. Figured I'd mix it up, maybe get some more bites. Never got a bite on it today. But yesterday, I think we literally caught all of our fish on it. And you notice probably too, I'm using that Nichols head. I like the Nichols head. By the way, I love this spinning rod. If you guys haven't tried, my buddy Tyler Wilcott recommended I try like a little shorter spinning rod. That's a 610 KS2 Elite. I'll put links to everything that we're going to talk about at Tackle Warehouse down in the description box, so you can go check it out and all that. But that rod, I can do a million things. And when the bite is tough like this, I can throw a Ned rig. I can throw my little micro swim bait, and I can just fling it around. It's not that heavy. It's not super long. I can make super accurate casts. And I love the action on it. I caught, I think, yeah, today I caught like a 4-pound or 4-pound spotted bass, and yesterday I caught like one almost 4 on it. Like, it can handle big fish, but I just like it. It's a very functional rod. But that Ned rig, I got the Nichols on there. And the reason I do is, one, they're not biting very well yesterday. Like, I didn't get many bites, so I really wanted something that had a little smaller hook in it, yet stout enough to handle a bigger fish. And it's a little more compact, and it goes good on that 610. So that's why I'm using that. Wasn't fishing around super heavy cover. I'd kind of throw it to the edges of the grass. If I was fishing thicker stuff, I would have probably went with the Magned, the Gambler Magned, but the Power Net actually. But the other highlight baits, and interestingly enough, I threw this joker for like 3 hours yesterday. It's just a little Ruka shad, trap classic bait for winter fishing, which is what we're doing. Didn't get a sniff on it yesterday. Not a sniff. I might have had one knock at it. Today, I literally caught my PB spot on it. Didn't catch much else other than that, but I was fishing it just like I did the swim bait, which was really the highlight of the day, but just kind of slow reeling it and letting it fall. I don't even have the swim bait because I broke it off at the end of the day because I'm a pro, #pro. But I was using, it's a little Scottsboro head. It's a finesse head with a little screw lock on there. The hook, actually, this is a good example. The hook is light. Even on my spinning rod, if I put too much pressure on them, I will bend it, but you don't miss fish, dude. When they like swipe at it, you don't even have to set the hook. You just kind of pull back a little bit. And I was putting a 3.3 Kitech Swing Impact Fat swim bait on there. People are obsessed with colors. I don't really care. Like, to me, this is shad color, but it's actually, this was light hitch. I have some other ones in my boxes. I don't know exactly what I was using, but something that looks like shad. And I just throw it over those grass lines or on the corners of those grass lines and just slow roll it. But the real key across both the trap, even the Ned, which I'm starting to wonder about from yesterday, and that swim bait, is the fall. Like, I would reel it and then just let it settle. I wouldn't rip it. I wouldn't like jerk it up, put some English on it, but I just let it kind of fall slowly. And that's when I got all my bigger bites. It was just kind of like shimmying down. And even on the Ned rig yesterday, like, I think my 2 bigger bites, my largemouth that I caught and then my big spot, were both when it was just kind of sinking. I don't think I was dragging it around. I'll have to go back to the video and look, but that says kind of, I don't know if they're following it down or if they're reacting to it. Today they were definitely following it down because I missed a few bites and then they'd come back and get it when I like let it settle down. The other thing that you should never go to a lake that has spots or even largemouth that are in the grass or on like shallower flats without is this guy. That is a S waiver, a river to sea S waiver. I got that. I'm trying this reel. It's a Daiwa. Let's see. I think it's the Tatula. I think it's 200. It's a little bit bigger. 20-pound fluorocarbon. But I slang that thing over like a big old like grass point. Caught like a 3-pound spot. It's a great kind of lure when you have fish that are kind of above the grass, or even we're on this point right here. Say if it was spring and there were fish cruising, for as big of a bait as it is, it rides really high in the water column, and you can kind of just walk it over like a flat that's maybe like 2 to 4 feet deep. You can count it down, get a little bit deeper, or even if you got points like this, you can kind of walk it over that stuff and basically fish a bigger bait where you can't fish a bigger bait because usually they're too heavy and they sink down into the grass. But that was kind of our arsenal for these 2 days, and frankly I'm just a little taken aback. Like, we went from literally, it's been manic. We went from not having any clue to absolutely smashing them, and it just goes to show you, like I said, Mike Iaconelli, never give up. You know, when you go on these fishing trips, always know if you had a bad day, that next day could literally change the game, dude. You catch a PB like I did today. So it was a lot of fun. If you guys got any questions or anything, oh, by the way, I got to give a shout out to my buddies, Mississippi State bass fishing team. They kind of gave me a fishing report and gave me some insights as to how the lake was setting up for the moment. So thank you guys for helping me out and kind of getting me started out here. But just an epic couple days, dude. It was a lot of fun. Make sure you watch the whole video. Hit like and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of in-depth, I guess it's more like thinking kind of content, which sometimes turns people away, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. Bog, are you so cold? Are you ready to go home? Poor Bog has been freezing today. He's been a trooper. We've slept in the truck for 2 nights, and it's been, I think, 35 the first night and 36 the second night. So it's been a little bit chilly, and I think what I'm going to do too, stay tuned after this video. I'll probably drop it in a week or so, but I think I'm going to put up a little how to sleep in your truck video, how to be a bum, bro. Everybody say bye to Bog. Bye, Bog. If you guys enjoyed this camping video, let me know. Tell me down in the comments box. Let me know what you liked. Let me know where you would like me to go camping, and where you'd like to see me fish. So road trip balls, I like it. Make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching.